So you want to build your discipline? Well, I do too. So we can actually do that together. Because although I am doing good in terms of my habits and discipline compared to the normal person, I'm definitely not where I want to be, and I want to keep improving my discipline. And that is exactly why I'm out here in a forest. I'm on a hike for the second day in a row now, which I will explain. And I would have been walking on the trail talking, but the wind noise is absolutely awful, so I had to come in between the trees to get some shelter. And while thinking of the idea for this video, I thought about how it wouldn't be really genuine to record a video about discipline and only go out for a hike purely for the video. So I already went out for a hike, the same hike yesterday, and so past Ned will tell you. Take it away, past Ned. Thank you, and hello, future Ned. But exactly as was said, I think it's quite ingenuine to do something for the sake of discipline if you're doing it for a video, because the motivation to do something for a video is monumental, especially if it's going to make you money or make you look good. Everybody would want that. And so I wanted to make this video about discipline and have myself get up at 5:30 in the morning and go on a long hike for around 3 hours maybe. And I thought, that's nearly too easy. Like I said, anybody could do that because the motivation is tremendous. Everybody wants to get views, subscribers, watch time, comments, attention. So many people would do it for that. But how many people would do it just to show that it's not genuine? That's exactly what I'm here to do today, because it's around 6:20 in the morning right now. I got up at 5:30, 10 minutes to get ready, roughly 20 minutes to drive here. Now I've been walking for around 20 minutes. And so the whole point of me going out here today was to prove that I have the discipline to get up and go do something just because I said so. Because if I'm being honest, I kind of don't want to hike. The few times I went before, it was quite enjoyable and I wanted to do it. But today and tomorrow, I'm just not feeling it. I would rather do work, prove my knowledge, talk to people in my Discord server. I would rather do many more things that I can only do by staying at home. But I can't do that because I need to prove my discipline to myself, to every man watching. And I think that's really it from past Ned here. If I have any more words, I'll check back in. Back to you, future Ned. Thank you, past Ned. And so the main thing that you really need to focus on in terms of building discipline is following through with the things that you say you will do. Because what discipline really means, that I haven't heard anybody else say, is that discipline merely means following a set of rules that are set out. And so to discipline yourself, you set out a set of rules that you know you can at least start to follow and then build up on that. So for the last 2 days, I set a rule for myself that I'm going to get up at 5:30, get up, go to this forest, go for a hike and make this video. It was difficult, but I did it. I followed through with the rules that I set for myself, and now I'm here building my discipline. And like I said, it would have been easy for me to say that I'm building my discipline when making a video that I'm going to get views and subscribers from, because the motivation is so high it nearly becomes easy. And that's why I went on the hike yesterday. So I'm up here and I did it. I followed through with the rule that I set for myself, that I will make it back up to the exact same point I was at just yesterday, when the weather was absolutely fantastic, calm and relaxing, and now nothing but clouds. I think I'm actually in the clouds right now. And the hike that I just done, and the same hike that I done yesterday, is around 500 meters in elevation, which would of course be difficult to some amount of the population. And I understand that. It may be too difficult, and it may be too far-fetched to give yourself such a big objective to do when you're just starting to build discipline. Honestly, when it comes to discipline, big goals are good, but are not disproportionately better to aim towards. Because if the aim is to build discipline, then you just need to do exactly what you set out for yourself. It doesn't have to be overly difficult, but as long as you do exactly what you set for yourself, then you will get used to following a certain set of rules that you set out for yourself, and then you can incrementally make it more effortful more stressful, try to do more work, move more, think more, do whatever it is, you can incrementally increase it to a point where you have I don't know, a superhuman routine where you do all the correct things and don't waste time. Shit. And something that I was thinking about as I was walking up here is that the walk, although it's long, it takes nearly an hour to get here, even if you walk pretty fast and you're experienced. But although it takes long, it's quite strenuous, it's long, it's tiring. I was starting to get really tired, my legs are sore, but I was able to do it, and when I realised how far away I've walked, I realised that I'm actually doing very well, and every time I realised that, I was doing very well, because all I was doing this entire hike is that I was focusing on my next step, and that's especially important when you're walking through grass or muddy fields and stuff. And so of course I would need to focus on the next step, otherwise I would hurt myself. But me focusing on my every next step meant that I wasn't thinking about how far away I need to go. I wasn't thinking about how easy or how difficult my path was beforehand. I was focusing on exactly what I needed to do now. I was in the moment and time just flew. This was a really difficult hike, but I'm up here now. All because I told myself 2 days ago that I was going to hike yesterday and today, get up here and make this video. And I was able to get up here without much mental strain or any contemplation, because all I did was focus on the next step. I knew what I needed to do, and I'm incredibly set on the routes that I set for myself, because it means that I'm increasing my discipline and I'm increasing my self-confidence within myself to do the things that I set out for myself. That will of course extrapolate out to confidence in general, because if I know that I do what I say, then I'm going to be more certain with my words. And if I know what I'm saying is certain, then of course I'm just going to be a more confident person, because I'm not going to doubt myself with anything I say, even if I feel awkward in conversation, or I don't know what to say, or someone's trying to challenge me. The confidence will be there. And just yesterday, I didn't realise it at the time, but I made a quite sizable mistake when it came to discipline. And what that was that? Oh, Past Ned wants to say something. Hello, it's Past Ned checking in one more time, just to show how beautiful it is up here. The whole reason I'm up here is to show that I genuinely have the discipline to go up here and be here. And it feels like the universe has rewarded me with such a beautiful day. It's not too warm, it's not roasting me, but the sun's warm. I feel no breeze. Up here is completely quiet. I think there's no people in this park at all, maybe the odd two. All I hear is birds. Some flies buzzing around me. I was hearing 2 sheep earlier, but it's so peaceful. It's so beautiful. The scenery is beautiful, and it feels like I'm getting rewarded for putting in hard work and putting in genuine work for discipline, for the benefit of myself, and not just for a video. Well, this is going to turn out to be a video, but what I'm doing now isn't necessary at all, because the bulk of the video will be tomorrow, and that's where the most information and value will come from. And before I go, this is going to sound a bit odd, but I recently watched Cars 3, and one point in it, Lightning McQueen gets asked, how did he know that he was fit for racing? And he says, I never thought I couldn't. Something along those lines. And my point here is that work so ruthlessly and so hard, and be so driven, and get what you want from life. Achieve your big goals that no one believed that you could achieve. And then when people ask you, how did you do it? How did you overcome the odds and become so successful when nobody believed in you? And you tell them, I never thought I couldn't. I think that when your mind is set on something and you absolutely won't budge unless you give it your absolute all for years on end, that's the correct way forward. That's all from me once again. Back to you, future Ned. Thank you, Past Ned, that was wonderful. But as I was saying, I made a mistake yesterday, and it was that I didn't try to have my ideal day. And what I mean by that is that the first half of the day after I got home from the hike was quite good. Basically, I had a good first half of the day. And then came the time to eat, which was around 2 p.m. And so I ate, and I made the mistake of not living my ideal day. And I did that by watching a video while I was eating. And although it was a productive video, it was the Andrew Tate Hustlers University course. And because I knew it helped me, and because I knew it was productive, I kept watching it even after I was finished my food. And then it meant that I was put in a position where I was getting joy and satisfaction from laying down, doing nothing, and just letting a laptop play a video. And then for the rest of the day, I didn't do any more work. I had such a fantastic first half of the day, and then the second half, absolutely nothing. I'm still a bit taken aback that actually happened, but now it makes sense. Because if I'm operating at this level and I want to operate at this level, I need to, when I have the energy for it and my mindset is correct, I need to try operate at this level. I need to do everything that I can to operate at this level, even if it takes more effort. And I shouldn't willingly go out and operate at this level when my bottom is here, because it means that if something stressful happens or I make a mistake like I did yesterday, if I'm operating at 50%, I'm going to fall down to like 25, and then I'm so close to the bottom that it'll feel like I can't do anything, and it'll be so difficult to get myself out of that. But if I'm willingly operating at 100% and I make a mistake, slip up or something, I could fall 40%, and I'm still operating at 60%, and then it means that I still have so much energy and so much positive mindset that I can keep going and possibly even get myself back up to the 100%. And of course, knowing that I made that mistake yesterday, I'm not going to watch any bit of video today. And of course, it may be a bit difficult and uncomfortable for when even if I have some spare time, or I'm eating and it's a lot of food and it'll take a bit to eat, I'm just going to have to sit with my thoughts. And of course, that's a fantastic thing, but it's difficult when you're so used to doing something else. I think there's a different, interesting kind of beauty when it comes to weather that's not so nice, because everybody can appreciate the sun and clear weather and it's warm, peaceful, but it's quite hectic and super foggy, cloudy, but there's beauty to it. Literally all around me, and it nearly feels surreal that I'm in the clouds, because I am in the clouds. I'm 500 meters up. And one last thing, don't you ever wish that it gets easier. Things will never get easier. It's the same principle as lifting weights in the gym. You would never wish for the weights to get lighter, because you understand if the weights get lighter, you get weaker. And so you only ever wish to get stronger, because 100 kg on the bench press, although it gets manageable, it will always be heavy. It will never just become light one day. It will always be at least a bit scary and anxiety provoking to lift, because you know that you're dealing with 100 kilograms, and if that falls on you, that's going to damage you. So by the same principle, don't ever wish that things in life and the things that require discipline get easier, because if they get easier, you get weaker, and what good is that? You want to be a strong masculine man, and strong masculine men overcome difficult challenge. They don't overcome easily manageable challenges. And the fact is that if it were easy and everybody was able to do it, then it wouldn't be worth doing or worth getting. If it were easy to be mentally disciplined and physically disciplined and do the things that you set out for yourself and stick to the rules that you set out for yourself, then nobody would care about it. I wouldn't be making this video. There would be not a single video about discipline if everybody was able to do it. The value only comes in the scarcity of the thing. If it's rare and it's hard to achieve, then that gives it value. Then that is worth pursuing, because then you have something that others do not, and you have built up this thing that gives you an advantage in anything that you want to put it to. So do not wish for things in your life to get easier. Only wish that you get stronger and more resilient and more tougher to be able to withstand all of those things and keep pushing through, getting stronger and making even more progress. While I was talking, some of the fog cleared up. Lovely. So to all the ambitious masculine men who want to build their discipline, start small. Set out rules for yourself that you know you're capable of following through with, and do them very consistently. Consistency is the biggest factor when it comes to getting any sort of results. And I understand that the way to master anything at all in life is to constantly show up, because you could be the best chess player in the world, but if you never play, you're not a master. But if you consistently play, then you are the undisputed master of chess. So start small, stay incredibly consistent, focus on consistency rather than getting big results, because the big results will come as you stay consistent. They will compound, and before you know it, you're going to become an even better version of yourself without knowing it, because you set such simple rules for yourself that you follow through with, that most people brush off to the side because they're too small. Then they don't get anywhere, while you get so much further than them, because you're following through with the rules that you set for yourself, building your discipline, building your self-confidence, making the world a better place. You can take care of your loved ones and become the absolute best version of yourself. And if you want to build unstoppable self-confidence on top of your discipline, click and watch this video right now. Put in enough time and attention, because that will make anything into reality.